The World Meteorological Organization estimated that the occurrences of drought had increased by 29% since 2000. And the UN is estimating that by 2025, 1.8 billion people will be living with absolute water scarcity. Drought and water scarcity present very unique challenges when you're thinking about energy production. And this is because multiple energy production systems, such as thermal and hydropower production, depend on water, not just water, large volumes of water, in order to produce energy. And so reduced water quantities eventually reduces efficiency and also reduces the generation capacity.
Energy and water are really two sides of the same coin. Not only does our water supply affect citizens, but it also affects industry, because we have industries like the agriculture industry, manufacturing, that heavily rely on lots of water to ensure that there's production, which builds and strengthens our economy. So there's also that side of things, which is very water intensive.
As of September 2022, South Africa had experienced 92 days of load shedding. And so this has had the effect of increasing the cost of business, reduced profitability, reduced productivity. And for consumers, they have had to adjust their lives to this limited access to electricity and even access to their appliances.
Naturally, we're an arid and water-stressed country, so already that's a very tough backlog to start with. But we also have a history of segregation in our country that then resulted in many people moving from marginalized areas back into the city. And there, naturally, there was a missed opportunity to ensure that the supply of bulk infrastructure, water and energy and other resources matched the growing demand of the population as people were moving to the city to seek better opportunities. And then what we now have is what you see in the news, where dam levels have extremely declined in South Africa, and they've really affected the supply in terms of water coming out of our taps. And so we now have this phenomenon called day zero. And in 2017, 2018, Cape Town, one of the largest cities in South Africa, almost experienced day zero. And in this year, we have Gqeberha, which is in the Eastern Cape region, also nearing day zero. So you're beginning to see that this trend is fast growing, and it is really an alarming issue and one that we need to attend to collaboratively as government, industry, citizens of South Africa, if we're really going to resolve these issues.
Day zero is still a stark reality for South Africa. South Africa is a top 20 carbon emitter economy globally. And so for this reason, CLASP is working closely with SANEDI, other government agencies, as well as other stakeholders such as the International Organization of Plumbers of South Africa to implement water efficiency policies. Water efficiency labeling scheme, otherwise referred to as a WELS scheme, sets out specific water requirements for water fixtures, water fittings, and appliances. Consumers are able to make informed purchases because now they know this is an efficient tap, this is an efficient showerhead. But in addition to that, it encourages manufacturers to become more innovative and has the overall effect of transforming the market such that you have more and more efficient appliances, water taps and showerheads in the market.
I'm often asked, what is the best way to save energy? What is the best way to save water? And the simple answer to that is use less. Use just enough to fulfill the task that you need to fulfill.
I do believe that in the current state of affairs, we're past the point where government can do it alone in terms of resolving the crisis. Unfortunately, these improvements that need to be made to our water situation require large capital investment. But we've seen that in projects of the size and nature, collaboration between government and private sector, as well as academia, we can definitely make progress.
Water efficiency represents a unique and an untapped opportunity to actually curb rising carbon emissions and also protect dwindling water resources. The climate crisis is only going to get worse. And so the way we can avert it or mitigate it is by adopting smarter, longer-lasting water and energy efficiency policies.